Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MJ Games. I am Michael, and today we're looking at Green Acres, which is created by Smakai underscore D. Hope I pronounced that right. If not, I really apologize. And this is a beautiful park created on the PS4, as it is at the PS4 limit, and the description says Green Acres is an amazing new park in a beautiful valley in the Midlands. Explore this modern park and venture through the different themed areas. Start in the thrill zone, experience a huge swing and the thrilling multi-dimensional spinning coaster. After that, head into Spooky Ghost Customs and experience the Mystic Ghost Racer. Continue into the abandoned site of Green Acres Oil and ride the desolate oil mining equipment on Unibotanium. Then you can rest in all the new Adventure Acres area and relax and have a special picnic before heading on our newest coaster rush. The Bavarian area is also a beautiful place to relax. Have a good stay at Green Acres. The ride manufacturers and models: Gravity Group, Woody, Mac Family Spinning Coaster, Mac Family Launch Coaster, Intamin Megalite, and Gerslower Infinity Coaster. Please view in day and night, and please use track view for all coasters. There are some of my favorite creators hidden around the park. I'm also planning on to keep updating this. So that's a lot of long description, but it's very good. As you can see, there's a lot of time and effort put into this park. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started at the entrance with the tour. We are here at the entrance to the park because when I downloaded the file, all the rides were closed and there were no guests. So we are entering the park at the start of the day, just like everybody else, as the crowds are flooding in. And at the end, I'm going to give a little bit of advice on what I think you could do in here, because I think you could add a couple things to it that make it really kind of stand out a lot too. And right away, I love the ATMs. We got a little bag check. Okay, so it's a little security for bag check. See, you've got that other attendant there, bag check. So I guess that would be, oh yeah, you check your bags and then you go through the ticket gates. Cool. Now, one thing I would suggest too, maybe just because I know you're obviously doing a lot of realism in this park, is moving those bag check or those actual guest entry points way back here. How you hid this, you could just have the guest entry point like right here, and then oops, that's kind of crazy. And then you could create your own custom turnstiles here to kind of make it look more realistic than these things that they give you in game. Just a suggestion though. This is really nice, and I like how you've blocked off the coaster here with the fencing. And I wonder, was that like a look design for doubling up the fence or something like that? But I love the look of this wooden coaster just going right here. That looks really good. And then we've got the big frisbee right there. Now, there was directions on which way to go, so I'm going to try my best to remember and follow that. So that's Ghost Custom, so the creator said to go this way first. Let me make sure that we are at a good time. Good time of the day. Yeah, there we go. That looks good right there. Oh, nice. I love the little detail around the roof here. Using those beams, I think that's a really cool touch. Makes it look unique, makes it look different, and you've got a cement block there on the edges. That's a really nice touch. And then you're using the Bavarian pieces. Looks good. Now, one thing I am going to point out, anytime you got a wall piece like this, so one thing I've started doing is you can place the concrete decorative course on top of it, and it makes it look really neat and cool. So I'll kind of show that at the end. But I love how this is there's water kind of going around. You got some rocks and stuff, so that's really cool. And then this way, just got a little grass area, which is nice. So we got an all glass building. You got some restaurants. Yeah, I think there are too many shops in here just because that's taken away from your percentage. I think it's about 10 shops per percent. So I would honestly cut this in a third just because, as you can see, nobody's really in there. They're not really using it. So that's just my opinion. But here we got the Max spinning coaster, I think. If we head wherever the entrance is to it, yeah. Real nice colors, too. So cloud spin. I like it. I like how you got the numbers kind of spun around. That's really cool touch. And that's a good way to use the only letters that we actually get in game. Which, by the way, the other day I was looking at Planet Zoo, and they have like 4 or 5 different fonts in the game that they can use with letters. Like, why could they not have just imported that into the Planet Coaster? That just really, really irks my nerves. Looks really good. Good station. You know, I'd add some kind of lighting in here. So maybe one thing you could do, let me pause this for a second, is if it'll let me click on, there we go. For some reason it wasn't letting me click on it. So one thing you could do, ooh, I like this kind of elevated. That's pretty cool. So on the stations, let's see. Oh, Iron Maddie. There you go, Maddie. So let's see. Yeah, so there is no light in here. So a couple things you could do is you could use, what type of lights? You could use I like using the kind of floodlights a lot, which I clicked on the wrong one. Yeah, no, never mind, I was on the right one. Sometimes for some reason they can be kind of tough to find. Using this one, for example, the floodlight, or just the, how come I can't find it? Where is it at? It's just the individual kind of floodlight. Oh, this one right here. So Firehouse floodlight. But what I also like doing is taking a colorable area light, and let's turn this to nighttime real quick so we can see. And that's way too bright, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it more of a kind of darker. So then I'm going to raise it up. And doing something like that, because then what that gives you is that gives you kind of a recessed light and so forth. So that's just what I would do there. Now, while I've got it paused and we are out of flip cam mode, what I was talking about real quick is one thing you could do in here, and I saw somebody use this trick on PC, and I'm sure other people in console have done it as well. So let's change this. So one thing you could do is you could take the grass that you've got, and you could kind of go through and color this. And what it does is, especially when you're up high, it makes it look like mulch, right? So if you did that along this way, it looks like it would just be mulch in there. Or you could actually place mulch pieces if you want to, or just vary it up a little bit. I just feel like that's a little bit too much grass. That's just me. Now, the other thing I wanted to show real quick, and this won't take long, I promise, then we'll obviously get back to looking at the ride. So I was trying to find the brick decorative course. So for example, if you're using this brick, just use this brick decorative course. I know it adds extra pieces, but it really, really adds to the look of it. So instead of having that kind of just blank kind of top of the wall that really kind of takes away from the look of it, now you've got this piece that actually extends over the side a little bit, so it gives it a little bit more detail. So that's just my opinion on what I would do anytime you've got a wall like this brick wall, is using that brick decorative course. And I've seen people even use it as, like people have used this, you could even do something like right here, where you're kind of trying to separate the difference between the tarmac and the path, right? I've seen people use it for those purposes. There's a lot of different ways and purposes that this can be used for. So I just think it's a really, really cool piece that I'm trying to utilize a lot more as I continue to improve as a builder and so forth. But yeah, so enough of that, enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and hop on Cloud Spin. You know what? We're going to ride this coaster in chase mode since it's a Mac Extreme Spinner, and I'll talk to you afterwards. All right, so that was a good coaster. I liked it. I think maybe in this part had a little bit too much spinning, but the layout, it's got good pacing because this is, at least in my opinion, meant to be along more of the family variety because there are no inversions, and so it's a longer coaster, which is nice. I would try to find a way to get two coasters on the track if it's that length, but overall I think it's very good. And then maybe using a little bit of terrain paint in here because this kind of brighter grass like really kind of stands out a lot, right? So I know that's one thing that I'm sure if this video comes out after Maddie's done his, that he's talked about terrain paint some in it. But this could be another area to kind of use the decorative course piece to kind of separate these edges a little bit. But yeah, so let's head over to the wooden coaster area. And we'll get back in flip cam mode at certain times throughout this. Just, let's see. So we got Ghost Customs. Ooh, I mean, your theming is really good because now it's like you step under the bridge and all of a sudden you go from a little bit more open and bright to kind of more dark, and the trees you chose to use here is nice. I mean, it's heavily wooded, like it now kind of, it gives off almost like a Last of Us type vibe a little bit with kind of these sheds and stuff like that. So that's really, really, really cool. Looks good. You know, maybe having some beams going across the top where you've kind of got those wooden pieces sticking through, but that's a very unique station. And I love the extra kind of supports here for this kind of bridge, as this is back to Ghost Customs. Okay, so that's where we would have come from as well. So really good job. It's a good look of the lift hill right there. And then we get in the station. Wow. Oh, you got, is that two fly-throughs? Wow. That is awesome. Awesome design. And I like the extra kind of piece right here. You know, maybe only thing is kind of lowering it a little bit. Is it looks like you've got it fairly high up. So maybe just lowering it just a tad bit, or at least moving this over to the edge part of it. But either way, it looks really cool. Love this station. And this is Ghost Racers. It's the wooden gnarler coaster. Results look good. So let's take a ride on the coaster. What an awesome, awesome coaster. That was fantastic. Really smooth overall. I like the shorter trains. I mean, just watch, look at the pace of this thing. Love the double up right there. And then it definitely, definitely gives me, at least from what I've been on, gives me good GCI vibes. And I love how it kind of goes out in the woods a little bit here. A little bit of like a, the Voyage type of turn in a way, like definitely not as wide of a turn on the Voyage. But really, really cool. Absolutely love that coaster. That was fantastic. Now, let's get back in flip cam since we're heading to a new area. Take the HUD off the screen. And look at that Gerslower with one of those really strange drops. I've never been on one that's like that, but that is a beautiful look. And we'll definitely look at the park at night too. Or let me check out the park at night after we ride the next coaster to see if any of them are supposed to be ridden at night. But this is really, really, really good. And look at that custom supporting right there. Wow. That is so cool. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, it really gives me Last of Us type vibes as well. That is awesome. Which way to go here? Yeah, now this is an area where I would do a little something different with the overall pathing, because as you can see, it's kind of sticking up through a little bit, because you've got your actual path and you've used a different pathing there. So I would just do I would have to try to I would actually replace all this once I flatten out the path, because that's kind of the issue here, is the path is not flat. That would just be my suggestion there. But there's where the Bavarian area is at, so we'll get to that. But first, let's head into the Apocalypse area. So this Pommies, that's really well done. Really, really well done. Gosh, this is cool. And then you can see little views of the coaster from down here. That is awesome. Are y'all enjoying your stay? She looks like she doesn't want anything to do with him. She's just kind of moving away from him. So this is called GA oil. So unibotanium lies, don't get infected. Proud to make and supply unibotanium. Let's go back and look this way, see if we really missed anything. Ooh, look at this covered walkway. That's nice. Oh, wow. Like, this is such a good job of theming and such a good job of really, really distinguishing the areas of the park. Like, gosh, this is cool. Is that a company in the UK or something? Or I think you're from the UK. Is there a path here? Oh, that's that's a staff room. I would say you could clear up the trees on that path and actually make the path viewable, but kind of put a fence there to show that only staff employees can get back there. So they lied. Da 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 da. False scumbags. All right, GA oil, Ubotanium. Like, look at this. This is insane. Oh, love that custom ride sign. Wow, this is impressive. I mean, we're definitely gonna have to check this out without flip cam mode to really kind of even do it even more justice. Got the scaffolding pieces there that are falling over. That is cool, cool, cool. And now, let's see. We get to skip the line. Woot woot. Golly, look at this queue. Wow, this is awesome. Once again, just really, really impressed by this station. And you've got what looks like could be like the I don't know if that's supposed to be like a bag check area or if it's supposed to represent kind of the end of the world, people trying to kind of figure out what's going on. So if we look at these stats, everything's all green, which is great. Biggest drop, G-force is fantastic. So I will talk to you after the coaster. Oh my goodness, that was a phenomenal coaster. I mean, I love how slow it takes you up this chain because the whole time it's just, I mean, going up a chain straight up like that is honestly terrifying. No matter how tall the coaster is, and then it kind of hangs you there like that. Oh, that's so cool. That is awesome. And so when you're here, you get just a view of the park, and that is, oh, that's amazing. Um, and then it's super smooth. And I don't know if this coaster normally is like this, because I've just never noticed it before. It almost had kind of a clingy noise the whole time, which really kind of added to this vibe of this area. And then the amount of like these scaffolding pieces that you use for extra supports to kind of create stuff falling over, like this little, almost like a little bridge here, is just amazing. And then right here, and oh man, really, really good job. Like this part, that's awesome. Oops. Oh wow, almost hit the saw. I didn't even realize there's that saw there. Did I just not even see that? Or maybe that didn't activate when our coaster was leaving, but that was, I mean, that's phenomenal. There's no other way to put that other than best coaster of the park so far. And I know we've only been on 3, but that's one of the best coasters I've seen in the game, with how smooth it was, and then just the whole theming around it, like just unbelievable. So one other thing you do real quick too is when you've got the separation from these 2 different colors of path, you can take that curb and kind of color it like a black or something, or a dark gray, and place it over that line to kind of create that you're heading to like a different section, if that makes sense. Oh, and I like the little detail here. Excuse me, wow. I'm just using the wooden post, but kind of changing the different heights. And see, same thing I talked about earlier with the decorative course. Like, let's, you know what, let's, because we're about to get on this coaster, which that's a great view. So let's hop out of flip cam real quick, because I want to look at that again and just kind of show you. So let's pretend like we raised, let's take this decorative course again. So if we raise it up to look something like that, and then you can take the fence up, and you could keep it up that whole way. Or if you're wanting to keep it at that height, the type of fence that you could use the, where is it? Yeah, you could use this fence where it's not as tall as the other fence, and but it still adds that kind of protection. And then, I mean, you could even lower it down to where it looks like that or something, right? You know, just an idea. Because like I said, there's like certain things in this game that like I really focus on a lot, and curbing and kind of adding some of those pieces on some of those areas is basically what I like focusing on a fair amount. But I love this kind of actual design here. This is really cool. Only thing I'd say is I would put that chain link fence going around this whole area, because in theory, a kid could just decide to jump through here and go jump near the track. So with you going for a lot of this realism aspect and stuff like that, that's kind of a next step that I would add, is always have your coasters blocked off, and stuff like that. But this is, love this little, how you made this little roof just so naturally a part of the thing. Oh, Moomin, there's Moomin Little Socks. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention this before. Corvus, there's Corvus's name. So I think Corvus gets the biggest shout out of any of us, because his name is on one of the best coasters we've seen in the game. So you deserve it, Corvus. Keep up the great work, man. Your channel is growing like insane, because I think when this comes out, you'll probably be at 3,000 subs, or at least close to that. But this is really impressed with that, and really happy for you. So Once again, really cool station, and good job hiding this part underneath. Like, this looks really, really good. Really, really good. And then for the future, one thing you could do to kind of get this shading to kind of stop. So you've got that, right? Oh, I forgot those are on a, never mind. Those are on a grid, so they're done a little bit differently. Oh, wow. Did not expect this. So it's trying to go green, man. Looks really, really cool. And I like how you've got the little kind of cutout windows here almost to kind of see through into the station. So this is called Rush. And, oh, wow, look at those stats. Fantastic. So this is going to be an Intamin, probably Megalite, or is it Mac? No, it looks like Intamin by the cars. I'll have to refresh. That was a great coaster, really smooth. Love the layout. I think that was really well done. That might be based off the layout and kind of design. Might be more of a Mac style, but I could be wrong about that. But really, really cool, and good job of just placing some. Have a little bit of elevation changes. You've got some trees here and there, and I like these posts once again. And then over here, you do have fencing and stuff and protective areas. So you've got this nice kind of picnic area. So theme park worldwide. Let's see who else we got. Oh, we got Archer area. That's cool. So we got a little hay stand over there. A little playground, which is nice. Okay, and you got flat ride over here. So that's cool. One of the hyper jumps. And we got Tommy CM. There, Jasmine and I are. There's Jasmine and I? Yeah, M&J Games. Iron Maddie again. Man, Maddie getting all the love. He's getting shout outs twice in this park. Yeah, let's hop in Plipcam one last time because this area is going to be really cool. So I love seeing that coaster kind of up there on the hill. Even though it's not an inverting coaster, it looks so cool. That's really, really cool. So now as we head up this way to the Bavarian section, and I like how you've gone with the natural kind of pathing here to where it kind of matches the terrain. I think that's a cool touch. So we got some stalls. Really cool. So this would be almost like a little house. Really cool touch. And I like the fencing you chose for this section as well. And oh, there's little parts where you can see some of the coaster. That is really, 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 really cool. So this is going to be the coaster. Let's head up the exit, which is just right here. Actually, no, before we do that, let's see if there's anything else we need to see in Plipcam mode. So if we head up here. Oh, we got a whole other section up here. Okay. Really, really cool. This looks beautiful, man. Professor Worst. Looks good. Yeah, this is really, really cool. I love the look of it. It's a beautiful park, beautifully designed. Okay. Really, really cool. So now, this is a launched vector, so it's called tree. So let's go and pause that. Look at these stats. It's kind of what you expect for a family coaster. Biggest drop 49 feet. Everything looks great. There's 4 airtime hills, and I'll talk to you after we take a ride on tree. Now, might I say, this is not my favorite coaster in the park because I think, we've ridden a couple that are a little bit more intense, but the design and engineering. Oh, and I didn't mean to make that sound bad because that sounded terrible. But what I meant to say is that there are a couple more intense rides in the park, but I don't think there's a ride that's better designed than this in terms of you get to this point, you stop, and you just get to take in this view. Like, this is awesome. And so if we look at different times of the day, at night, what this view would be like. So really, really cool. And then also really looks good how you lit up everything. Um, you've lit up different areas with different colors, which is nice. So it looks really good. That's maybe too much. Definitely, I think a little bit too much lighting on some of the path areas like that. But overall, really, really, really cool. If we go back to daytime, so a couple things I want to point out before I wrap the video up. One, I would go ahead and fill in the rest of this. Like, you've used the tarmac paint, but then you've kind of left it. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but I would just go ahead and fill that in. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion, though. So, and then I love the terrain work that you've done here as well. And one thing it's cool, is you've got kind of these roadways up here that take you to different areas, and then you've got this railroad line. So I just wonder was there supposed to be a way for them to get to the park from this area? Is this kind of like so that would be kind of like the entrance of how they get down to the parking lot in a sense. So what you might be able to do, well, I guess you've got this area here. So it'd be like you kind of go down in that tunnel and you come out this way. So that's cool. And then you've got kind of the same thing over here. So really tried to use up the entire park and looked like he took some inspiration from Iron Matty in his Eden Springs kind of build, which is cool. So definitely utilizing this map. So really, really cool. Golly, let's get an overhead view of all this. An entire map has been used. So it's crazy though, you're at 86%. So if we look at that whole map, that is awesome. Yeah, really, really, really cool. So my suggestion is less stalls, because if we pull up here and we look at attractions and shops, you only got 11 rides in the park, so 5 coasters, 6 flat rides. You got 78 shops and facilities. I think that's too much. Now sequences. Uh, there's ride sequences. Oh, those probably just sounds and stuff. Okay. Hopefully I didn't miss anything like that. But yeah, so 78 stalls, I would cut down on that a little bit. And oh, this is a PS4 level. I don't know why I was thinking. Okay, so you built this on a PS4. For some reason, I was thinking another park was on 86, but that was a park I looked at yesterday. Yeah, so if you wanted to kind of have a little bit more space to do a couple things, cut out the amount of stalls. You got 78, cut that in half, you know? So some of those where you've got all these areas, you don't have to. Oh, Diamondite, there we are. You don't have to do every one of these with a stall. You can just have it be a cement or a brick wall in between sections and so forth. And then what I've already talked about was kind of using the decorative course. But yeah, I absolutely love this park. I mean, hands down, the bio whatever ride is my favorite and one of the favorite I've seen in the game. Like, this is phenomenal. I think my second favorite is probably the GCI. I think this was really well done. And a couple of spots kind of remind me of some Mystic Timbers type elements. And then the third one would be, I'm going to say this is an Intamin. I could be wrong on that, because I'm kind of forgetting what the intro said now. And then that would be the fourth one. The fifth one would be the spinning coaster. But all these coasters were so, so well done. Just really, really good. As I said before, absolutely love this park. So make sure to drop a comment below. What do you think of this park? What was your favorite coaster? And thank you guys so much for all your support. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you later.